What?
My belt.
No, it's completely wrong. Master Ken here with another episode of Master Ken's Privates. And today we have Sarah Michelle Gellar from the show Muffy, the Vampire Slayer. And she studies Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, obviously. How long have you been studying that?
I've been studying since May.
Yeah, so 6 whole months. You must be really good at that. And you also are an expert in another art. Tantra, which I believe is a Greek wrestling style from the Galapagos Islands. So why don't you get ready for that? And of course, the Galapagos Islands are right off the coast of Connecticut, technically. They're in the Mediterranean Sea, which separates the United... I'm going to turn the heat up.
You may know how to master the mat, but do you know how to master the mattress? I will teach you how. Begin like this. You want to generate sexual energy right here. Rub briskly, firmly. Really feel that fire begin to build. And now hold your ribs very steady and begin turning your hips. How fast can you go? Show me your thrust. What are your deepest desires?
To have a three-way with Velma and Daphne from Scooby-Doo. What are your deepest desires?
To have sex with Master Ken all night long. What are your deepest fears?
To have sex with Master Ken all night long. What are your deepest fears?
That he'll reject me.
Now, my biggest problem with the Tantric eye-gazing question drill is that it was not combat-oriented. Intimacy happens in the bedroom, but it also happens on the battlefield. Because in both cases, you're potentially going to be putting something inside your opponent. What are your deepest desires? I think mine would be to have a lunchbox that always has a sandwich in it. Just a magical lunchbox. Every time you open it up, sandwich. Take it out, eat it, close it, open it back up, sandwich. It's a never-ending sandwich lunchbox. What are your deepest fears? I think mine would be being forced to give Steven Seagal a full-body massage, naked, with motor oil. It would be the worst oil spill the world has ever seen. Like a big walrus just covered in oil.
And when you're really ready to get intimate with your partner, just crawl into his lap, wrap your legs around him, stare deeply into his eyes, and begin breathing together.
All right, so as you've seen, the art of Tantra focuses primarily on passion, on heavy breathing, a lot of close quarter touching, which is not uncommon in other arts like BJJ or Greco-Roman wrestling that you might see on Skinamax or late night at a Turkish bath. But what I feel the problem is it's not nearly violent enough, okay? So I believe I can easily counter this with my Ameri-Do-Te moves. Now, notice how close quarter she is here. This is a biting danger. She could end up tongue punching me right in the eye, or she could headbutt me. I don't want that to happen. So first thing I'm going to do is grab her hair and hold her head back. And second thing that I would do is go ahead and get an eagle claw and attack the throat, the carotid artery, and limiting oxygen by squeezing the trachea.
Oh my God, yes.
Next thing that I would do is move her into a neck break position. You may also want to be aware that you can get attacked from behind, and now you're in a multiple attacker situation. So what I'm going to do is switch hands and choke her with this one, and choke my attacker from behind with this one here. All right, so I'm going to make some adjustments from our previous technique because I realized that I was actually doing something that is meant for the average attacker, not a tantric expert, okay? Some people are born with gaping throats, so her career path was pretty much decided. She was either going to be a tantric expert or a sword swallower. In either case, I'm going to teach you a version of this technique that would actually work on the normal attacker, okay? It's a series of decisions that I call improvised unilateral defense, or an IUD. So, first thing you're going to want to do is have protection. Okay? You want a latex barrier between your skin and any bodily fluids. You want your back straight so that your diaphragm is in place. Okay? That's also going to keep you safe. And then you want to make sure that you use the same techniques I showed you before, but in a rigid, kind of violent and rhythmic fashion. Okay? I'm going to reach back and I'm going to pull his head back. I'm going to take that eagle claw, attacking the throat, okay? I'm going to put him in neck break position. Then I'm going to jam my thumb here, okay? And what I want him to do is start to aspirate, okay? That means he's going to start to throw up in his mouth and then it's going to get caught in his throat, okay? Now, I'm going to keep that shut. Now, you'll remember there was a documentary made in Albuquerque a while ago about drug use. And in one of those shows, you saw the bald gentleman watch someone aspirate. So that's why I just sort of let him down, and I call this move the Walter wait. The way I remember it is to say, you watch and wait as they aspirate, and then just wait until they're passed out. Eventually they'll die, and then, as always, re-stomp that groin. All right, this concludes another episode of Master Ken's Privates. I want to thank Sarah Silverman and Featherboy for being here today. You can find out more about tantric activation and all the other bullshit on her channels or her description, whatever down here. You can find him on Craigslist probably. And don't forget to tune in for another episode of Master Ken's Privates. Buy my new book, The Dow of Master Ken, available now on Amazon.com. Autographed copies available at EnterTheDojoShow.com. Re-stop the groin. Buy my book.